My name is Nana May. I'm 74 years old, and the call that shattered my calm came at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. The phone rang. I stared at it, my heart skipping. The last time I heard this tone was 13 years ago when my daughter vanished, leaving me with three tiny children and no explanation. Hello, I whispered. Nana, it's me, the voice said. Soft, almost hesitant. I froze. Could it be her? After all this time? Nina. My voice trembled. Is that you? There was a pause. A long, deliberate pause. Then, a chill in her voice. You need to meet me. Now. We need to talk about the kids. My blood ran cold. Talk? What do you mean? They're here. Safe. Healthy. Everything is fine. You don't understand, Nana. I'm coming to take them. The line went dead. I held the phone, my hands shaking. My three grandkids were playing in the backyard, laughing, oblivious to the storm that was about to hit. Tears welled up in my eyes. I could see the sunlight glinting on their hair, their carefree smiles. How could she accuse me of kidnapping after 13 years of love, care, and protection? I ran to the backyard. Emily, Jason, Mia, come inside. My voice trembled, high with panic. The kids obeyed instantly. They were older now, but they still looked up at me with trust, with love. Grandma, what's wrong? Emily asked, her big eyes filled with concern. Nothing, everything's fine, I forced a smile. Just a little emergency. Come on inside. Once we were inside, I locked the doors and windows. My heart pounded. My mind raced. What could Nina possibly be planning after all these years? I called my husband, but he was on a business trip. He answered groggily, sleep still in his voice. Nana, what's wrong? It's Nina, I said. She's threatening to take the kids. She said I kidnapped them. There was a long pause. What? That's impossible. You've cared for them since they were infants. They know you as their mother. I know, I whispered. But she's coming. And she sounds serious. He sighed. I'll get a flight. I'll be there by tonight. Don't panic. Just keep the kids safe. I hung up and sat down, hugging Emily, Jason, and Mia. Grandma's here. Nothing will happen. I promise. Mommy's coming back? Jason asked, frowning. Why? Did we do something wrong? No, sweetheart. Absolutely not, I said firmly. Your mommy, she's just upset. But you have done nothing wrong. Nothing at all. I could see the confusion in their faces. They had always been told stories of their mother leaving, of her work, her travels. They had never understood the abandonment, the fear, the silent nights filled with tears. I went to the kitchen and started making a plan. The legal papers, the custody documents, all in a drawer. Everything my lawyer had prepared back when Nina disappeared. I pulled them out, dusted off the edges, and studied them. The kids came into the kitchen, peering over my shoulder. Grandma, what's all this? Mia asked. These are papers, I said cautiously. Important papers. Just for safety. Nothing scary. Are you scared? Emily asked. I swallowed hard. A little. But we will be safe. And we will get through this. Together. I could hear the faint sound of a car approaching. My heart raced. My mind ran through scenarios, plans, contingencies. Nina, 13 years gone. And now she was back, accusing me of kidnapping my own grandchildren. The car door slammed outside. I peeked through the curtains. She stood there, older, sharper, but unmistakably her. My daughter, my own flesh and blood. Mom, she said, her voice ice and fire combined. We need to go. Now. The kids are coming with me. I opened the door slowly. Nina, stop. You can't just, after all these years, accuse me of kidnapping. They're my children, she shouted. I have the right to see them. I have the right to take them. I felt the anger rise, but I forced myself to remain calm. You left them, Nina. 13 years ago. I raised them, loved them, protected them. They call me Mom because that's who I was to them. They belong to me, she screamed, tears running down her cheeks. You took them from me. I didn't take anything, I said quietly, firmly. You left, and I carried your responsibility because you couldn't. And now, after all these years, you want to destroy what we built. Her eyes flared. I want my children. And they are safe here, I said. With me. They know me. They love me. And I will not let you drag them into this chaos. Jason tugged at my sleeve. Grandma, please. Mia clung to me. We don't want to go, Mommy. Emily buried her face in my shoulder. Please don't make us. Nina's eyes softened for a fraction of a second, then hardened again. You've poisoned them against me, she spat. I shook my head. No, I've nurtured them. You left, and they grew up safe. And now they need stability, not drama. The tension was unbearable. Words clashed like swords. Tears streamed. Emotions erupted. Suddenly, a neighbor appeared at the edge of the yard, looking concerned. Is everything okay here? I turned, my heart racing. Yes, just family issues. Please stay back. Nina's phone rang. She answered, then spoke in hurried whispers. I could see her growing frustrated. What? No. I told you I want them now. I realized she had called her friends, maybe even a lawyer. She was prepared. She had a plan. I hugged the kids tightly. Listen, my loves. We are a team, and no one will break us apart. Nina stepped back, her hands trembling. You've taken everything from me, and now you defy me. I've taken nothing, I said. I've only protected, and I will continue to protect them, even if it means standing alone against you. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves outside. It felt like the calm before the storm. I could see it in Nina's eyes. She was dangerous, desperate, and relentless. The kids huddled close. I looked at them, their innocent faces reflecting trust and fear intertwined. My heart ached. I won't let you do this, I whispered. Not today. Not ever. Nina's expression twisted, her jaw tightening. This isn't over, she said, her voice low and deadly. And she was right. It wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Because the past 13 years had built a fortress of love, care, and memories. But now, that fortress was under siege. And the war had just begun. The day started with sunlight spilling through the curtains, golden and deceptive. The kids were unusually quiet, as if sensing the tension that had filled the house since Nina's arrival. I could hear Emily humming softly, Jason tapping a rhythm on the kitchen counter, and Mia whispering stories to her doll, but the air was thick with unease. I sat at the table, hands wrapped around my tea, replaying the events from yesterday. Nina had stormed in, accusations flying, tears, anger, and threats. 13 years of absence, and suddenly, she was back, claiming the children I had raised as her own. I had known this day would come eventually, but I hadn't expected it to arrive so soon, or with such venom. The phone rang. Unknown number. My heart skipped. Nana. The voice trembled slightly. It's Lila. I need to tell you something. Something important. About the wedding. I froze. Wedding? My daughter Nina had been planning some grand event. I had heard whispers from her friends, but I had never been invited or even consulted. Could this be another ploy? Another way to twist the narrative, to assert control over the kids? And me? Lila, what is it? I asked cautiously. It's about your grandchildren, she said. Her voice shook. Something's happening today. Something you need to see. I felt my pulse quicken. The kids were in the other room, happily playing, unaware of the looming storm. I swallowed and tried to calm my racing thoughts. Before I could respond, the doorbell rang. I opened it to see a flurry of activity outside. Cars pulling up. Friends and family I hadn't seen in years, all arriving in a swirl of laughter and chaos. And then I saw her, Nina, standing tall in a dress that shimmered like sunlight on water. She looked like she belonged to a world I no longer had access to, a world of sophistication and power I had been shut out from. Mom, she said, her voice cutting through the hum of conversation, sharp and demanding. We need to talk. Now. I opened my mouth to respond, but the kids ran forward, hugging her. Emily's eyes sparkled, Jason's arms wrapped around her waist, Mia clinging to her skirt. My heart ached. These were the children I had raised, nurtured, loved. And yet, she had the audacity to step in and claim them as her own. I took a deep breath. Nina, wait. Let's step inside, okay? We need to talk calmly. She shook her head. Not here. Not calmly. You've hidden them for years. I want the truth, and I want it now. I felt my stomach churn. The wedding celebration had turned into a battlefield. I could see the guests exchanging uneasy glances, whispers spreading like wildfire. Some of them knew parts of the family history. Others had only heard rumors. And now, all the tension, the secrets, the accusations were spilling into their view. Mom, Grandma, Emily's voice cut through my panic. Don't fight. Chill, sweetheart, I said, crouching to her level. Just stay close to me. We'll figure this out. Nina's eyes narrowed. Stay close? You've kept them from me for 13 years. Now you speak of closeness. I swallowed hard, forcing calm. I didn't keep them. I raised them because you left. You abandoned them. You abandoned me. And now we live with the consequences together. Her face twisted in fury. Abandoned? I worked. I struggled. I had my reasons. And you played the perfect mother in my absence. I did what I had to, I said firmly. I didn't play. I protected. I nurtured. I loved. She looked at the children, her eyes softening for a brief moment and then hardened again. They are mine, she said, voice low but resolute. Everything you did doesn't change that. You left them, I said, stepping closer. Do you know how it felt to hold a baby at night and whisper promises you weren't supposed to? Do you know how I watched them grow, feared for their safety, rejoiced at every milestone, all while you were gone? She flinched, and I could see the flicker of guilt, quickly masked by anger. I didn't know, she whispered, almost inaudible. You didn't know. I asked sharply. You didn't know. And now, after 13 years, you waltz back into their lives and claim ownership, as if time and absence meant nothing. Tears welled in my eyes, and I could feel the tremor in my voice. Do you know what it's like to be their only parent, their only guardian, the one who faced sleepless nights, illness, school problems, heartbreaks alone? The guests had stopped their conversations now. Some were staring, some were whispering, and I didn't care. All I cared about was protecting these children and exposing the truth. Nina's hands clenched into fists. You think you're the hero, don't you? She spat. The perfect, loving grandmother. But you stole my life, my children, my choices, and now you hide behind their smiles like some kind of martyr. I took a step closer, my chest tight, my heart pounding. I didn't steal. I received what was left to me. I raised them with love because no one else would. I didn't have a choice. And now, I refuse to let you destroy what we've built. The children clung to me. I could feel their fear, their confusion. Mommy, stop yelling, Mia whispered. We don't like it. Emily buried her face in my shoulder. Please, Mommy. Jason tugged at Nina's sleeve. Don't take us, Mommy. Don't. Her face softened again. I saw the conflict in her eyes. Love battling pride, guilt battling anger. For a moment, I thought she might relent. But then, she straightened, voice cold and decisive. I don't need your permission. I'm taking them. Today. I shook my head, feeling the weight of the room pressing down. No, Nina. Not today. Not ever. You may have rights on paper, but these children are safe here. With me. Her eyes flared. You will regret this, she hissed. I will make sure the law sees you for what you are. A kidnapper, a thief of my family. I could see the guests exchanging horrified glances. Some whispered, Did she just say kidnapping? Others gasped audibly. I pulled the children close. Listen to me, I said, voice low but firm. You stay right here with me. No one is taking you. Not your mother, not anyone else. You are safe. Nina's phone rang. She answered quickly, her face tight with frustration. Yes, I told you. I want them now, she barked. I realized then she had called her friends, maybe even a lawyer. She was prepared. She was relentless. Tears streamed down my face. 13 years of love, protection, and sacrifice reduced to accusations and threats in a single afternoon. And yet, I knew I had to remain calm. I had to think, plan, and act. Because the war had just begun, and I could not let these children be swept into chaos. The kids huddled close. I whispered to them, no matter what happens, we are a team. And no one, not even Mommy, can break us apart. Nina's eyes burned with fury, but beneath the rage, I saw the first cracks of doubt. She wanted control, Yes, but could she claim what she had abandoned? Could she fight against 13 years of love, stability, and trust? The tension was unbearable. Words clashed like swords. Tears streamed. Hearts raced. And I realized with a sinking certainty that nothing in my life had prepared me for the confrontation ahead. Because the wedding day meant for celebration had become the battlefield of my family's history, secrets, and truths. And the first move had been made. The day after the wedding fiasco, the house felt heavier than ever. The walls, once filled with laughter, seemed to hold their breath, carrying the echoes of yesterday's screams. The kids moved quietly, as if sensing the storm that had been unleashed, their small bodies tense, eyes wide with unspoken fear. I sat in the living room, hands wrapped tightly around a cup of cold tea, trying to steady my racing heart. 13 years of raising 3 children alone had taught me patience, endurance, and vigilance. But nothing had prepared me for this. My own daughter accusing me of kidnapping and dragging the entire family into a confrontation for the world to see. Jason fidgeted beside me, breaking the silence. Grandma, do you think Mommy really believes she can take us? I looked down at him, forcing a calm I didn't entirely feel. She may think that, sweetheart, but we know the truth. We know who's been here for you, who's protected you, loved you every single day. Emily sat on the armrest, her legs swinging nervously. But why now? Why after all these years? I sighed, staring out the window at the garden where the sun glinted on the swings. Because some truths are buried, but time doesn't erase memory or feelings. She left, and that hurt deeply. And now she's angry. Angry enough to believe accusations will give her control. The doorbell rang. My heart leapt. Could it be Nina again? Or someone else? Lawyers, friends, family? I hurried to the door. It was my sister, Karen, her face pale, eyes wide with concern. Hannah, I heard what happened yesterday. I had to come. Are you okay? The kids. I took a deep breath. We're fine for now. But it's bad, Karen. Worse than I imagined. She stepped inside, glancing at the kids, who clung to me. I can see that, she whispered. I don't even know where to start. I led her to the living room, closing the door behind us. Start at the beginning. Every secret, every detail, we need clarity. Karen nodded. Then I suppose it's time we tell you everything we've hidden. About Nina. About the family. About why she left. I felt a chill run down my spine. Secrets. Hidden truths that had been tucked away, like fragile porcelain waiting to shatter. Karen began softly. You remember our parents, Nana? How strict, controlling, relentless? Nina wasn't just rebellious. She was terrified. She felt trapped under their expectations, under the shadow of perfection. And she made choices she regrets. I frowned. I knew she struggled, but I didn't realize it ran so deep. Karen took a deep breath. She ran away, Hannah. She didn't leave you with the kids because she hated them. She left because she couldn't handle the pressure, the fear, the shame. She thought leaving was the only way to survive. I shook my head. Survive by abandoning 3 children? That's not survival. That's betrayal. It wasn't betrayal, Karen said firmly. Not to her. She believed she had no other choice. And she believed if she left, she could come back someday, maybe fix everything. My chest tightened. I could feel the anger rising, but also a strange empathy. 13 years of abandonment, and yet she was a frightened, desperate young woman once. Karen continued. But Hannah, there's more. You need to know why she accused you. She's not just angry at the past. She's angry at herself. She's projecting. And she's being manipulated by someone close to her now. Someone feeding her fear, telling her that you've stolen her children. I blinked, stunned. Manipulated? By who? Karen hesitated. I don't know the full details, but it's serious. Someone is influencing her legal decisions, her actions. She's not thinking clearly. And if this continues, it could get ugly. My hand shook. So she's been used against me? Against her own children? Karen nodded gravely. Yes, and you need to be careful. Hannah, she might not see reason until she hits rock bottom, until she realizes the truth for herself. I sat back, my mind whirling. The web of secrets, lies, and manipulation stretched further than I had imagined. 13 years of love, sacrifice, and protection now threatened by deception and misunderstanding. Jason tugged at my sleeve. Grandma, are they really going to take us? No, sweetheart, I said firmly. Not while I'm here. Not ever. And we're going to figure this out together. Emily's small hand reached for mine. But what if Mommy really thinks she can? I squeezed her hand. Then we show her the truth. And we stand strong. Because love, real love, cannot be stolen. It cannot be threatened. It can only be defended. Karen looked at me, her eyes serious. You need a plan, Hannah. You can't rely on hope alone. You need evidence, legal protection, and you need to prepare the kids emotionally. They need to understand their boundaries, their safety, and their right to feel secure. I nodded slowly, determination rising. You're right. We've survived so much already. We can handle this. We will protect them. And we will expose the truth, no matter how long it takes. At that moment, the phone rang again. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. Nana, it's me, Nina's voice said. Calm, calculated. We need to talk. Alone. About the kids. And about your choices. Your lies. I felt a surge of anger. Choices? Lies? I raised them, Nina. I protected them while you were gone. I loved them while you abandoned them. They are mine, she shouted. And you've stolen them. No, I said, voice rising. You left. I didn't steal. And if you try to take them now, you'll have to face the consequences. There was silence on the line. Then a whisper, you don't understand. You never did. You never will. The line went dead. I sank into the chair, my hands trembling. Karen placed a comforting hand on my shoulder. Hannah, breathe. We'll get through this. We'll uncover the truth. And she will see the reality whether she wants to or not. But deep down, I knew Karen was right. The secrets in our family weren't just about Nina's abandonment. They were about manipulation, hidden agendas, and old wounds reopened. And as I looked at the kids, their faces innocent and trusting, I realized that the coming days would not just test me, but all of us. Their safety, our bonds, and the truth itself hung in the balance. The storm was just beginning. The morning sunlight fell harshly through the kitchen window, cutting across the floor like shards of glass. The house was quiet, too quiet. I could feel it, the tension crawling beneath the walls, thick and suffocating. After yesterday's revelations, the air felt poisoned, charged with unspoken threats. I poured a cup of tea and sat at the table, staring at the steam rising from the cup. My hands shook, though I tried to steady them. 13 years of raising the children alone had taught me vigilance, endurance, patience. But nothing had prepared me for betrayal coming from your own blood. Jason wandered in, rubbing his eyes. Grandma, are we going to be okay? His voice was small, quivering. I reached out, holding his hands. Yes, my love. We are okay. I promise. I will always protect you and your siblings. No one can take that away from us. Emily appeared behind him, eyes wide and wary. Grandma, Mommy sounded really angry yesterday. Is she coming back? I don't know, I admitted, forcing calm into my voice. But if she does, we'll be ready. We've survived before and we'll survive again. Mia peeked around the corner, clutching her doll. I don't like this, she whispered. I just want Mommy to leave us alone. I hugged all three of them close. I know, sweetheart. I know. But sometimes grown-ups forget what's important. And sometimes we have to stand strong so the people we love can be safe. The phone rang. Unknown number. My stomach twisted. I glanced at the kids, who flinched. I answered cautiously. Nana. Nina's voice dripped with cold determination. We need to meet. Alone. Today. Don't try to involve anyone else. I closed my eyes. Nina, we're not going anywhere alone. The children are safe here and you won't threaten them or me. Not today. You're overconfident, she said, voice low and dangerous. You think you can keep them from me. But you've underestimated me. I swallowed, steadying my voice. Underestimate? I raised them for 13 years. I know them better than anyone. And I will not let you manipulate or harm them. The line went dead. I hung up, my heart pounding. My mind raced with possibilities. Nina was no longer a scared young woman. She was calculated, angry and desperate. She had influence, resources, allies, and she was coming for us. The kids clustered around me, sensing the tension. "Grandma, what's she going to do?" Emily asked, tears welling. "Nothing that I can't handle," I said firmly. "We are a team, remember? You, me, your siblings. And no one can break that." The sound of tires crunching gravel outside made my blood run cold. I peeked through the curtains. Nina's car was parked at the end of the driveway. She stepped out, her posture straight, her expression unreadable, but I could see the fire in her eyes. She approached the door. "Open up, Nana," she said sharply. "It's time we settle this." I took a deep breath. "Not like this, Nina. You cannot storm in and demand what isn't yours to take. Not after 13 years. You left, and I raised them. I protected them. I love them. And that does not make me a criminal." "They are mine," she shouted. "You stole them from me." "No," I said, voice trembling but resolute. "You left. You abandoned them. And I made sure they grew up safe, happy, and loved. You've been gone for 13 years. That doesn't erase their memories. It doesn't erase my devotion. It doesn't erase the bond they share with me." She stepped closer, pointing a finger at me. "You think you can lecture me? You think you can stand in my way? I won't allow it." Jason stepped forward, small but defiant. "Mommy, please stop yelling." Mia hid behind me, clutching my arm. "Grandma, don't let her take us." Emily's tears streamed down her face. "We don't want to go. Please, Mommy, please." Nina's expression softened for a brief moment, a flicker of hesitation. But then it hardened again. "You've poisoned them," she hissed. "You filled their minds with lies. They don't even know who I am anymore." "They know who you are," I said quietly. "But they also know who loves them, who raises them, who sacrifices for them. And that is me. And that will never change." Her jaw clenched. "You've made me powerless. You've humiliated me in front of everyone. But this ends today." I felt a chill. Her words weren't just threats. They were plans, schemes, a calculated move. And I realized in that moment that the betrayal wasn't just her absence. It was her return, armed with accusations, anger, and manipulation. The children clung to me, their fear palpable. I pulled them close, whispering, "Listen, my loves, no matter what happens, we are a team. And teams protect each other. Always." Nina's phone rang. She answered quickly, speaking in hushed, urgent tones. "Yes, I told you. I want them now. Don't make me wait." I knew then that she had allies, people pushing her to escalate the conflict, to act rashly. And that made her dangerous. I took a deep breath, forcing calm into my body. "Nina, if you take another step, if you harm them, if you even try to remove them from this house without agreement, you will face consequences. Legal consequences. And I will protect them no matter what." She froze, a flicker of doubt in her eyes. You wouldn't." "I would," I said firmly. "Because love doesn't just protect, it defends. And these children are my world, my life. And I will not let anyone, not even you, destroy that." Her eyes blazed. "You think you're untouchable, but every fortress has cracks. And I will find them." I realized then that this wasn't just about her anger or jealousy. This was a calculated attempt to destabilize me, to create fear, to manipulate the children's loyalties. The betrayal ran deep, and it would not be easy to counter. Karen appeared at the doorway, calm but resolute. "Hannah, I'm here, and so are we. You're not alone." I nodded. "Thank you. We'll need every ally we can find, because she's not just angry, she's strategic. And she won't stop until she gets what she wants, or until she's forced to see the truth." The kids clung to me as Nina turned and stormed back to her car, slamming the door. I could hear her phone ringing inside. She was calling someone else, another ally, another force. And I knew without a doubt that the war had only just begun. I hugged the children tighter, whispering in their ears, "You are safe, always, and we will face whatever comes together." The betrayal wasn't just about the past. It was about the present. And I realized with a chill that the battle for our family, our love, and our truth was far from over. Because Nina wasn't just a mother returning after years of absence. She was a storm, a calculated, relentless force, and we were standing in its path. And I knew then that the days ahead would test every ounce of strength, patience, and courage I had left. But I was Nana May. I had survived before, and I would survive again. The morning air was thick with tension. I woke to the sound of distant voices, sharp and angry, carrying across the garden. The kids were awake early, their small bodies trembling with unease. 13 years of peaceful mornings had vanished in a single week, replaced by fear, uncertainty, and the looming shadow of Nina's accusations. I hugged Emily, Jason, and Mia tightly. It's okay, my loves. Grandma is here. Nothing will happen without me. Jason looked up, his eyes wide. But Grandma, what if Mommy comes in? What if she takes us? Then we stay together, I whispered, kissing his forehead. We are a team, remember? Always. And teams protect each other. The doorbell rang sharply. I could feel the tension spike in my chest. I peeked through the curtain. Nina stood there, flanked by two men I didn't recognize. Official-looking, stern. Lawyers, I guessed. Or maybe some investigators she had hired. She saw me watching and smirked, cold and calculating. Hannah, she said, it's time we settle this. No more games. I took a deep breath and opened the door. Nina, these are our children. You're not taking them. Not today. Not ever. They are mine, she shouted. I am their mother. You've lied to me for years, and now I want what's rightfully mine. I shook my head. Rightfully yours? 13 years of absence does not give you the right to accuse me of kidnapping. I raised them. I protected them. I love them. And no one will harm them or take them away from me. Her lawyers stepped forward. Ma'am, for legal purposes, we need to discuss custody arrangements. There's no need for confrontation. I glared. You think I don't know my rights? You think I'm powerless? You have your rights, Nina said sharply. But my rights as their mother are equally valid. And the law will see the truth, whether you like it or not. I clenched my fists, forcing myself to remain calm. The truth is I raised them, loved them, and kept them safe. That is the truth. And I will defend that truth with everything I have. The children peeked from behind me, their small faces pale with fear. Grandma, don't let her take us, Mia whispered. I won't, sweetheart, I said, kneeling to her level. I promise. Nothing will happen without me. We are together and we are safe. Nina's face softened briefly as she looked at the kids, a flicker of guilt passing over her features. But it vanished instantly. You've turned them against me, she accused. They know the truth, I said firmly. And the truth is that you left. You abandoned them. And now you return, demanding rights you haven't earned. That is the reality. Her lawyer interjected. Ma'am, perhaps a mediated discussion would be best. We don't want emotions to escalate. No, I snapped. I am done with mediation. I will not negotiate over love, safety, or the lives of my grandchildren. This ends now. With honesty. With clarity. Nina's eyes blazed. Then let the court decide. I knew the confrontation was inevitable, but I also knew that the children couldn't be dragged into a courtroom chaos just yet. They needed protection, clarity, and reassurance. I pulled out the custody documents I had kept for years, papers my lawyer had prepared meticulously. Look, I said, holding them up. All of this proves I have been the primary caregiver. I have legal documents, proof of guardianship, medical records, school enrollments. Everything. Nina's jaw tightened. You think papers will win over truth? Yes, I said, voice strong, because the truth is in these pages, and in the lives of these children, in the love, care, and safety they have known for 13 years. That is undeniable. Her lawyers whispered among themselves. Nina looked frustrated, her control slipping. She turned to the kids. Do you even remember me? Emily shook her head slightly. We remember you, Mommy. But Grandma is the one who raised us. She's the one who was there every day. Jason nodded. I love you, Mommy. But I'm scared if we go with you. Mia clung to me tightly. I don't want to leave. Grandma, please. Nina's face twisted with conflicting emotions. Anger, sadness, frustration. You filled their heads with lies, she spat. They know the truth, I said firmly. And the truth is I kept them safe when you were gone. You left them. You abandoned them. That is the reality. And I will not let anyone rewrite history. Her lawyer stepped closer. Ma'am, we need to maintain civility. Perhaps a temporary restraining order is in order. I shook my head. No legal maneuvering will change the bond one have with these children. And no court can separate love, trust, and care built over 13 years. Nina's phone rang. She answered quickly, speaking in urgent, hushed tones. I realized she was coordinating with someone, another ally, someone fueling her anger and desperation. I looked at the kids, seeing their fear, their trust, their reliance on me. My heart ached, but I knew I had to be the anchor, their protector, their guide, their safe haven. Children, I said softly, listen carefully. No matter what happens, we stick together. We don't panic, and we don't let anyone tell us who we are. We are a family, and that is unbreakable. Nina's eyes softened, just for a moment as she looked at them, then hardened again. You've turned them into strangers, she whispered, and I will fix that. I won't let you, I said firmly, because they are not strangers. They are mine too. We all love them, and we will not be divided by anger or fear. The tension in the room was suffocating. Every breath was heavy, every movement measured, every glance sharp with suspicion. Karen stepped forward. Hannah, I'm here. We'll face this together. You're not alone. I nodded, taking strength from her presence. Thank you. We need every ounce of courage we have, because this confrontation is just the beginning. But I will not back down. Not now. Not ever. The storm outside seemed to mirror the storm within. Thunder rumbled in the distance, the wind rattling the windows. I could feel the battle lines drawn, the war for these children's hearts and safety imminent. Nina's final words before leaving for the day echoed in the room. This isn't over. You will see. And when the world sees the truth, everyone will know who is guilty. I looked at the kids, their small hands in mine. No one can take you from me, I whispered. Not her, not the law, not anyone. Because love, real love, is stronger than fear, stronger than lies, stronger than betrayal. And I knew then that the confrontation would not just test my resolve, but the very foundation of our family. Because in the days ahead, every secret, every manipulation, and every hidden truth would come to light. And we would need all our strength to survive the storm. The night was thick and heavy, a blanket of silence suffocating the house. The kids were asleep, but I couldn't rest. My mind replayed every word, every accusation, every flicker of anger in Nina's eyes. 13 years of love, care, and sacrifice, all threatened by secrets that had resurfaced like ghosts I thought I had buried. I sat at the dining table, the lamp casting a warm, golden light over the custody documents spread before me. Karen had left hours ago, promising to return with more information. But for now, I was alone, and the weight of what I had to face pressed on my chest. The phone buzzed. Unknown number. My heart jumped. Nana. It was Lila, her voice trembling. There's something you need to know. About Nina. About the kids. It's serious. I gripped the edge of the table. Lila, what is it? Speak quickly. It's about why she left, Lila whispered. It's about who she's been working with, who's been feeding her lies. You need to hear this before she takes another step. I nodded, urging her to continue. She was being blackmailed, Lila said. 13 years ago, when she left, it wasn't just pressure from the family. Someone dangerous. They threatened her, forced her to disappear. And now they're back, pushing her, making her believe you kidnapped the kids. My stomach turned. Blackmailed? By who? I don't know everything, Lila admitted. But it's powerful, manipulative. And she's terrified. That's why she's so erratic, aggressive. She's not herself. Not fully. She's under their control. I ran a hand through my hair, heart pounding. 13 years of absence. 13 years of raising the children alone. And now, this hidden threat resurfaced. Someone had used fear and manipulation to control my daughter. I thought of the kids, their innocent faces, their trust in me. We have to protect them, I whispered. No one can manipulate them. No one can use fear to control our family. Lila's voice was urgent. You need to act carefully. She'll listen to them, to the threats. She won't hear you. But if you can expose the truth, show her who's manipulating her, maybe she'll see reason. I nodded, a plan forming. I have to gather evidence. I have to show her and the kids the truth. And I have to be careful. If she suspects I know, she might act against the children. The next morning, I awoke determined. The children were still asleep, unaware of the storms raging around them. I made breakfast quietly, every movement deliberate, every sound cautious. Jason stirred first. "Grandma, what's happening?" he asked groggily. "Nothing for you to worry about, sweetheart," I said gently. "Just a busy day for grown-ups. You enjoy your breakfast." Emily rubbed her eyes. "Is Mommy coming back?" I shook my head. "Not today. We're safe, and we'll stay safe." Mia clung to me. "Grandma, promise?" "I promise," I said, holding them close. "No one can take you from me." The phone rang again. "Nina." My heart sank. "Nana." Her voice was low, almost pleading. "We need to meet. Alone. I don't know what to believe anymore." I felt a flicker of hope. "Then meet me at the park." Calmly. Without threats. Without the lawyers or anyone else. There was silence. Then a whisper. "Fine. But this changes nothing. I still want answers." I hung up knowing that today, the hidden truths would begin to surface. At the park, Nina arrived first, pacing nervously. Her eyes darted around, wary, frustrated. When I approached, I kept my voice calm. "Nina, thank you for coming. We need honesty. For the kids, for us." She shook her head. "I don't know what's real anymore. I feel trapped, angry, confused, and I feel like you've kept secrets from me, from everyone." "I haven't kept secrets," I said. "I've protected the children. And now we need to protect you from whoever is manipulating you." Her eyes widened. "Manipulating me? What are you talking about?" I took a deep breath. "Lila told me about the threats, about the blackmail, the fear that forced you to leave. Someone has been controlling you, making you believe lies. Lies about me, lies about the kids." Tears welled in her eyes. I didn't know. I thought you had stolen them, used them against me." "No," I said gently. "I have loved them every day. I have protected them. And now, I want to help you see the truth. So you can be the mother you've always wanted to be, without fear, without manipulation." She sank onto a bench, burying her face in her hands. I don't know if I can trust anything anymore." I sat beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Start with honesty. With me. We can uncover the lies together. But you have to promise me. No threats, no accusations. Just the truth." She nodded slowly, trembling. I promise." The conversation lasted hours. Layer by layer, the hidden truths emerged. The blackmail, the threats, the manipulations, and the lies that had driven her away. The children's well-being, the love they had for me, the life we had built, all of it became a fragile shield against the storm. When she finally looked up, eyes red from crying, I saw a mixture of relief and fear. I didn't know. I didn't know you were protecting them, loving them, living for them. I thought you had betrayed me." "No, Nina," I said firmly. "I never betrayed you. I raised them because you couldn't be there. But now we can face the truth together. And we can heal. If you want." She nodded slowly. I want to. I want to make things right. But it feels impossible." I held her hands. "Nothing is impossible if we do it together. The children need us. They need both of us to stand strong. And we can. I promise you we can." The park was quiet now, the shadows long and soft. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, and for the first time in weeks, I felt a glimmer of hope. Because hidden truths, once revealed, can change everything. And I knew, deep in my heart, that with honesty, courage, and love, even the deepest wounds could begin to heal. The house felt suffocating that morning, heavy with unspoken emotions. The sun streamed through the windows, but it brought no warmth, only the sharp edge of tension. The children moved like shadows, quiet and wary, their eyes flitting to the door, listening for any sound of Nina's return. I watched them from the kitchen, stirring my tea with deliberate slowness. Emily sat at the table, staring at her cereal, her small hands trembling. Jason hugged Mia tightly, whispering reassurances they didn't fully believe. And Mia, she sat in the corner, clutching her doll, rocking slightly, trying to make sense of the chaos around her. I knelt beside Emily, brushing her hair back from her face. Sweetheart, it's okay. You're safe. Nothing is going to happen without me here. Do you understand? She nodded, but her eyes betrayed her fear. Grandma, Mommy, she's so angry. She called me yesterday. She said I don't love her. I took a deep breath, forcing calm. She's confused, Emily. She's upset, but it's not your fault. You love her and she loves you too. But right now, she's scared and angry. And when people are scared, they sometimes say things they don't mean. Jason spoke up from behind me. Grandma, what if she really thinks we don't love her? What if she takes us? No one can take you, I said firmly. Not Mommy, not anyone. You are safe here. We will face this together. The phone rang. I froze. Unknown number. Nana. Nina's voice trembled, almost breaking. I don't know what to do. I feel so lost. I felt a flicker of hope. Nina, calm down. We can figure this out. But you need to stop threatening the kids. They are scared, and you're scaring them even more. I didn't mean to, she whispered. I want to fix everything. But I feel like I'm drowning. Then we start slowly, I said. With honesty. With truth. No threats, no anger. Just us, the children, and what really happened. The line went dead. I set the phone down, heart pounding. The emotional turmoil wasn't just Nina's. It was seeping into the children, into me, into everything we had built. I decided to take the kids outside. Fresh air, a sense of normalcy, anything to break the tension. We walked slowly to the garden, their small hands in mine. Emily finally spoke. Grandma, why did Mommy leave us? I swallowed hard, kneeling to their level. She left because she was scared, because she felt trapped. But she didn't stop loving you. And she wants to make things right now. But it's complicated and she's confused. And that's why we need to be patient, strong, and together. Jason frowned. But she called us yesterday and she was so angry. I know, I said softly. And it hurt. It scared all of us. But anger doesn't erase love. And love doesn't disappear. Even if someone makes mistakes. Mia tugged at my sleeve. Grandma, will she be nice to us? I smiled gently. I hope so. But even if she isn't, we will protect each other. We will stay strong. And no one can take away our love for each other. The children nodded slowly, absorbing my words. But I could see the fear lingering in their eyes. Later that day, Nina arrived at the house again. This time, she entered cautiously, her expression soft but guarded. The kids froze. Jason clung to my side. Emily's hands trembled, and Mia buried her face in my shoulder. Nina, please, I said quietly. Sit. Let's talk. No yelling. No threats. Just the truth. She hesitated, then sank into a chair. I don't know how to face them. I feel guilty, angry, lost, and I don't know if they even want me here. They do, I said, but they're scared, and we have to earn their trust back. Slowly, one step at a time. Emily peeked from behind my arm. Mommy, I don't hate you. But, Grandma, she's been there for us. She loves us every day. Nina's eyes filled with tears. I know. And I hate myself for leaving. For not being there. For everything. Jason stepped forward. We want you to be part of our lives. But we need to feel safe too. Mia nodded. We don't want to be scared anymore. Please, Mommy, please. Nina's body shook as she buried her face in her hands. I don't know if I can fix this. I've hurt you all so much. I don't know if I can be the mother you deserve. I placed a hand on her shoulder. You don't fix everything at once. You take small steps. You show love, patience, and honesty. And we forgive, slowly. But only if you mean it, truly. She nodded, tears streaming. I want to. I want to try. But it's so hard. I feel like I've lost everything. You haven't lost them, I said softly. You haven't lost the chance to be part of their lives. But you have to earn it. And we can help you. But you must trust us and trust yourself. For hours we talked. Layer by layer, the emotional turmoil unfolded. Nina admitted fears, guilt, and shame. The children expressed anger, confusion, and longing. And I held us together, guiding, mediating, protecting, and loving. By evening, a fragile calm settled over the house. The children were still wary, but they had hope. Nina was still trembling, but she had glimpsed a path toward reconciliation. And I felt the weight lift slightly, knowing we had survived yet another storm. As I tucked the children into bed that night, I whispered, "We've faced another battle, but we're still standing, and tomorrow we take another step forward. Together." The house was quiet, the shadows long and soft. The storm of emotions had passed, but I knew the challenges were far from over. Nina's return had brought chaos, fear, and heartbreak, but also a chance for healing, for understanding, and for rebuilding bonds broken by time and absence. And as I lay awake, listening to the soft breaths of the children, I realized that emotional turmoil, though painful, could be the first step toward truth, forgiveness, and unity. Because in our family, love wasn't just a word. It was resilience. It was courage. It was the bond that no betrayal, no anger, no fear could ever break. The morning air was heavy with tension, thick like fog settling in every corner of the house. Yesterday's fragile calm felt like a distant memory. I could see it in the kids' eyes. Emily clutching her notebook tightly, Jason pacing back and forth, Mia sitting silently on the couch with a worried frown. The emotional storm hadn't passed. It had only shifted, moving quietly beneath the surface. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at my hands, willing myself to stay calm. The phone buzzed again, another unknown number. I hesitated before answering. "Nana." Nina's voice was soft, trembling. "Can we talk? Please. I need to confess something. About everything." I swallowed hard, feeling my heart race. "Of course, Nina. Sit down. We need honesty now. For the kids, for all of us." She arrived moments later, hesitating at the doorway, eyes downcast. The children were nearby, pretending to be busy, but unable to hide the tension. "Nina, sit," I said gently, patting the chair across from me. "We need to clear the air." Nothing left unsaid. She sank into the chair, shoulders shaking. I don't know where to start. I've been hiding things for so long. I don't even know what the truth is anymore." "Start with one thing," I said softly. "One truth at a time." Her hands trembled as she clasped them together. I never stopped loving them," she admitted, her voice breaking. "But I was scared. Scared of failing. Scared of the family. Scared of losing myself. And I ran. I left them with you because I didn't know what else to do. But I hated myself for leaving." Tears welled in my eyes. 13 years of abandonment, of nights spent worrying, of birthdays and milestones without her, and yet her confession held raw honesty. Jason stepped forward, his small voice quivering. "Mommy, why didn't you fight for us? Why leave us with Grandma?" She looked at him, guilt etched in every line of her face. I thought you'd be safer with her. And I didn't know how to be the mother you needed. I was afraid. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Emily's voice was firm but hesitant. "You hurt us. You left. 13 years. That's a long time, Mommy. Do you know how it felt?" "Yes," she whispered. "Every day. Every second. I hated myself for it. But I didn't know how to come back without making things worse. And then I was manipulated. I was told lies. Lies about you. Lies about Grandma. Lies about the kids. And I believed them." Her confession sent chills down my spine. The pieces were falling into place. Her anger, her accusations, her erratic behavior, all fueled by manipulation and fear. "Who?" I asked quietly. "Who's been feeding you these lies?" She shook her head. "I don't know the names, but someone powerful. Someone I trusted. Someone who knew my weaknesses and my fears. And they used them against me. Told me you were taking them from me. That you were keeping them from me on purpose." I clenched my fists, my mind racing. The betrayal wasn't just hers, it extended further. into unseen hands manipulating her. Jason's voice broke the silence. So, it wasn't Grandma? She didn't lie to us? No, Nina said firmly. She's loved you every day. Every single day. And I need to admit that I doubted her because I was scared, manipulated, and angry. But the truth is, she's the reason you're safe, happy, and loved. And I've been unfair to her. Terribly unfair. Tears streamed down Emily's face. It hurt so much feeling like we had to choose between you and Grandma. You never had to choose, Nina said, voice trembling. I've been blind with fear and guilt, but I want to fix it. I want to be part of your lives. All of our lives. And I know it won't be easy, but I want to try. Mia buried her face in my arm. Mommy, can we really be okay? Yes, I whispered, holding her close. But it will take time. Trust doesn't rebuild overnight. Love doesn't heal instantly. But we can start together. Karen appeared at the doorway, her eyes soft but serious. Hannah, this is a start. But there are still conflicts to face. Secrets yet to unravel. Lies yet to be exposed. And there will be resistance from her, from outside influences, from fear itself. I know, I said quietly. But we face it head on. We don't hide. We don't run. And we protect the children above all else. Nina nodded, wiping her tears. I understand. And I will do whatever it takes to make this right. Even if it's hard. Even if it takes years. Emily spoke softly, her voice firm. Then we start today. But you have to be honest. No more lies. No more hiding. I promise, Nina said. No more lies. No more hiding. I'll tell the truth always. The children nodded slowly, understanding the gravity of the moment. They had been hurt, abandoned, confused, but now there was hope. I took a deep breath. Then we begin, one step at a time, and we face every conflict together, every challenge, every storm, and we come out stronger. Nina looked at me, vulnerability and guilt in her eyes. Thank you for giving me this chance, for not giving up on me, on them, on us. I smiled softly. We never give up on family, even when it's hard, even when it's painful. That's what love is: endurance, courage, and forgiveness. For the first time in weeks, the house felt lighter. The shadows of conflict and betrayal lingered, but there was a flicker of light, a fragile thread of hope weaving through the turmoil. But I knew the journey wasn't over. Confessions could bring healing or ignite new conflicts, and the outside forces manipulating Nina were still at play. The battles ahead would test our resilience, our patience, and our bond as a family. As I tucked the children into bed that night, I whispered, we face the truth today. And tomorrow we take another step. Together. Always together. The house was quiet, the moonlight casting long shadows on the walls. I could feel the emotional weight lift slightly, replaced by determination. Nina's confessions had opened a path for reconciliation. But the conflicts, the manipulations, the secrets, and the challenges were far from over. And I knew, deep in my heart, that love alone would not be enough. We would need courage, honesty, and unwavering strength to face the battles still ahead. Because in our family, love wasn't just emotion, it was armor. It was shield and sword. And it would protect us, no matter what storms came our way. The morning light streamed softly through the curtains, casting a fragile glow on the house. The air was calm, but I could feel the tension beneath it, lingering like a storm waiting to break. Today was about attempts, resolution, compromise, and building bridges that had been burned long ago. I brewed tea in silence, my mind racing with plans. Nina had confessed, acknowledged the manipulation, and begun the path toward honesty. But confessions were only the start. Actions were what mattered now. Jason stirred first, rubbing his eyes. Grandma, is Mommy really going to stay today? I poured a cup of tea, careful to keep my voice steady. She's here, yes, but she's not staying alone. We all take this one step at a time. Together. Emily nodded slowly, still clutching her blanket. I hope it can work. I want Mommy to be part of our lives. But I don't want to feel scared again. You won't, I promised. Not if we all stay calm, honest, and careful. We will protect each other. Mia peeked from the corner, whispering, Grandma, what if she gets angry again? Then we don't react with fear, I said softly. We stay calm. We speak the truth. And we remember who we are. A family that loves each other no matter what. Nina arrived, quieter than usual. Her eyes were red from tears, her posture stiff but cautious. She stepped inside, glancing at the children. I don't want to frighten you, she said. I want to try. Really try. Emily took a deep breath, holding her blanket tightly. Mommy, we want to try too. But we need to know you mean it. I do, Nina said, voice breaking. I swear I'll be honest, patient, and kind. No more lies. No more anger. Just love. And care. That's all I want to give you. I nodded slowly. Then we begin. But slowly. One step at a time. We don't rush. We don't force anything. And we always communicate. Karen appeared in the doorway, a reassuring presence. This is a fragile start. But it's a start. Keep it calm. Keep it honest. And the rest will follow. The children cautiously approached Nina. Jason stepped first. Mommy, can you read me a story? Like you used to. Nina's eyes filled with tears. I'd love to, Jason. She knelt beside him, opening a book carefully, her fingers trembling as she turned the pages. Emily and Mia gathered close, watching silently. Slowly, hesitantly, they joined in. For the first time in weeks, laughter, small and cautious, filled the room. But outside, shadows of past conflicts lingered. Nina's manipulator, the force that had controlled her for so long, was still at work. Phone calls, whispers, subtle pressures. And I knew this fragile peace could be disrupted at any moment. I pulled Nina aside. You need to be careful, I whispered. They're still out there, watching, pushing, trying to manipulate you again. She nodded, swallowing hard. I know. I can feel it. But I want to do this right. For the kids. For us. For my own sanity. Then we prepare, I said. We document everything. We stay vigilant. And we never let fear control our actions. This is about trust, rebuilding, and love, not panic. The day progressed slowly. The children grew bolder, more comfortable in Nina's presence. They played together, laughed, and even argued like a normal family. But beneath the surface, I could feel the tension like a thin thread ready to snap. Emily came to me quietly, voice barely a whisper. Grandma, what if she leaves again? What if it's like before? I hugged her tightly. Then we stay strong. We love each other. And we protect each other. No matter what happens. Jason frowned. But what about the people making her scared? Won't they come back? They might, I admitted. But we will face them together. We won't let fear or threats tear us apart. We're stronger than that. Mia tugged at my sleeve. Grandma, I don't want anyone to hurt Mommy. You won't let that happen, I said firmly. And I'll make sure of it. No one can hurt the people we love. Not while we stand together. By evening, Nina and I sat together, the children asleep upstairs. The quiet of the house was a rare comfort. We did well today, I said softly. Small steps, but progress. You showed patience. The kids felt safe. And we survived without conflict. She nodded, exhaustion in her eyes. It's harder than I imagined. But it feels right. For the first time, it feels like we can fix things. I reached out, holding her hand. We will fix things, but slowly, carefully, and we protect the children above all else. That's our priority. She squeezed my hand. I understand. And I trust you, Nana. You've kept them safe all these years. I want to learn from you. Be better. Then we begin, I said. One step at a time. No shortcuts. And no secrets. Transparency is everything now. But as we spoke, I could feel the storm outside closing in. A text notification flashed on her phone. An unknown sender, cryptic and threatening. You know nothing yet, but soon you will regret trusting her. Her body stiffened. I felt the tension rise instantly. Nina, who is that? I don't know, she admitted, fear and guilt in her voice. But it feels dangerous. I nodded. Then we stay vigilant. No one can control you anymore. No one can manipulate your decisions. We take this carefully, and we protect the children at all costs. She swallowed, nodding slowly. I I understand. Thank you, Nana, for everything, for showing me the way. Even when I couldn't see it myself, I smiled, though my heart raced with the awareness that our fragile peace could shatter at any moment. We are a family, I said, and families survive storms. Together. The night stretched on, quiet but tense. I knew the resolution we were attempting today was only the beginning. There would be setbacks, challenges, and confrontations. But for now, we had taken a step toward healing, a step toward rebuilding trust. And tomorrow we would face whatever came next, together. Because in our family, love was more than a word. It was action. It was protection. It was resilience. And no threat, no secret, no manipulation could destroy it. The house was quiet, almost too quiet. The children slept, finally exhausted from the day's fragile peace. I moved silently through the living room, checking locks, windows, everything. Even after all we'd survived, the confrontations, confessions, and tentative reconciliation, my instinct screamed that the storm wasn't over. Nina sat at the kitchen table, her hands trembling slightly, staring at her phone. I watched her, noting the tension in her shoulders, the fear in her eyes. Something was coming, something we hadn't yet seen. Did you hear from them? I asked quietly. She shook her head. Not yet. But I can feel it, Nana. They're watching, waiting. And I think they know I've confessed everything to you. I clench my fists. Then we prepare. Whatever comes, we stand together. And no one, not them, not anyone, can harm this family. Suddenly, the phone rang. Unknown number. Nina jumped, eyes wide with panic. It's them, she whispered. They're here. I took the phone, answering calmly. Hello. A low, chilling voice responded. You think you're safe? You think you can hide the truth? She belongs to us, and soon she will remember who controls her. Nina gasped, covering her mouth. No, it can't be true. I felt a surge of anger. We are not afraid of you. You've manipulated, lied, and threatened long enough. But you will not touch this family. Not now. Not ever. The line went dead. I turned to Nina. We need to act. We need to protect ourselves, the children, and your freedom from them. She nodded, tears streaming. I don't know if I can. They've been controlling me for years. I never realized until now. I took her hands. Then we fight together. You are free now. We are stronger than fear, and we will not let them win. At that moment, the front door slammed open. A shadowy figure appeared in the doorway, silhouetted against the evening light. My heart raced. The children stirred, frightened by the sudden noise. Stay here, I whispered to the kids, moving in front of them. The figure stepped closer. So this is where she hides, the voice sneered. You think you can escape us? Nina stepped forward, voice shaking but determined. I am not afraid of you anymore. Leave us alone. The figure laughed, low and menacing. You don't know what fear is yet. Not really. I could see the anger in my eyes. The protector in me rose, fierce and unyielding. If you want to harm this family, you'll have to get through me first. The figure paused, studying us, then lunged forward. I grabbed the nearest object, a heavy vase, and swung. The glass shattered, scattering shards across the floor. The figure stumbled back, surprised by the resistance. Nina pulled the children close. Run, she whispered. Go upstairs. Hide. I stayed, confronting the intruder. This ends tonight. No more manipulation. No more fear. Leave us alone. The figure snarled, but then a second shadow appeared behind them. She belongs to us, the second voice growled. And you cannot stop us. I felt my heart pound. But I also felt a new strength, a resolve forged over 13 years of protecting these children, of enduring betrayal, abandonment, and manipulation. You are wrong, I said, voice steady. She belongs to herself, and to her family, and we will protect her. Always. Suddenly, the sound of sirens echoed in the distance. The intruders froze, eyes wide. Panic flickered across their faces. They've called the authorities, I whispered to Nina. Help is on the way. You're not alone anymore. The intruders hesitated, then fled into the shadows, disappearing as quickly as they had appeared. My knees shook, adrenaline still surging. I turned to Nina, who was trembling but safe. "It's over for now," I whispered, holding her close. "But we need to be careful. This isn't the end. They'll come back, and we'll be ready." The children emerged from the staircase, faces pale but relieved. "Grandma, Mommy, are we safe?" Jason asked. "Yes," I said, lifting him into my arms. "We are safe, and we will stay safe. Together." Emily hugged Nina tightly. We forgive you, Mommy. But we need you to be honest. Always." "I promise," Nina whispered, tears streaming. "I'll never lie again. I'll never hide. I'll protect you all, just like you've protected me." Mia nestled against me. "Grandma, we're okay now." "Yes, sweetheart," I said. "For now. And we'll always face the storms together." The night settled over the house, calm but watchful. We had survived confrontation, confessions, emotional turmoil, and even threats from the shadows. But I knew the world outside was still dangerous. Nina looked at me, fear and determination in her eyes. "Thank you, Nana, for saving us, for being our anchor. I don't know what I'd do without you." I smiled softly, brushing a tear from her cheek. "We are family, and family never lets go. No matter what storms come, no matter how dark the night, we survive, together." As I looked at the children sleeping peacefully and Nina sitting beside me, exhausted but resolute, I realized something important. Our journey was far from over. The manipulations, threats, and lies of the past had been exposed, but new challenges would come. Life had a way of testing love, patience, and resilience. But we were ready, stronger than ever, bound by truth, courage, and unwavering love. Because in this family, love wasn't just a word. It was action. It was protection. It was survival. And no shadow, no threat, no manipulator could ever break it. And as the first light of dawn broke across the horizon, I whispered a promise to myself, to the children, and to Nina. We will face whatever comes, together, and we will never, ever let fear control us again. The shadows had retreated for now, but the story was far from over. And I knew, deep in my heart, that the next chapter, whatever it might be, would test us in ways we had never imagined.